She is a VIP, and if you look behind her, the Emmy Awards will give that away. Kristin Geer is with me, Chief Executive Officer, Bleacher and TennisOne. TennisOne is one of the most up-and-coming apps in the tennis space. They do so many things, and it's all about content, and they're capitalizing on that. We're going to talk about that with her, learn about her story, learn about her journey, and what makes her inspirational. And I'm Bryan Fenley with Fox Sports Radio. I also do some USTA commentary on the Challenger circuit, and I'm on Twitter at Bryan Fenley. Kristin, I really appreciate you doing this. I'm super stoked to have you on. I guess my first question for you is, in the space of media, you've done so many things. So where do you find your most value in media and technology?
Well, we have to, the media in general as a whole has to adapt and grow and change with the times. And the times say everybody is living in their phones, right? And so we have to provide the best platform possible in that mobile space, because that's where our audience is. That is where everybody is living these days. And so how do we do that best? How can we create platforms that really embrace that user experience and provide an easy to use experience, something that people want to come back to time and time again, making really rich, dynamic content that keeps them coming back and providing what they're looking for. So it's kind of fun.
What makes you keep coming back in the sense of looking for what is cutting edge? There are so many who think that the status quo is okay. We're going to stick with that. But how have you kind of tapped into the need to be flexible in a changing atmosphere and landscape that is media, to know that change is inevitable and you want to be at the front of it?
Yeah, I'm old, and TV is, I grew up in TV. TV is where I started my livelihood and my career. And I still embrace TV, but I'm a realist, and you have to understand that television is a dying platform. The statistics prove it, and you're seeing what's happening. People are cutting the cord right and left. They no longer want to pay for television in the same way that I always have, or my parents or your grandparents may have wanted to. And so we have to be flexible. We have to adapt to the times. And I think that is just being able to see that and seeing where your audience is. I think that's essential to any, media outlet, media organization out there today.
Given your experience in local television and being on the anchor desk and knowing how to captivate and draw in an audience, how do you feel like your experiences in that space, being on the desk, dealing with breaking news, working with reporters, helps you in this next journey and next space you're in today?
That's a really, really great question. I think part of it is just being able to move fast, being able to pivot and move fast, like seeing something and having to just quickly take control and make something happen. That's something that I learned in, covering breaking news and covering investigative stories back in my news day, and really learning how to have conversations with people to get the story done. News you have to be able to sell, you have to be able to convince people, you have to be able to tell a story. And I think all of those skills that I learned way back then have definitely transitioned and have translated well into providing a new mobile product in sports. We tell stories, we provide content that our users are looking for. And we stick and move when we have to. We listen to our audience. That's something that is so essential. Listening to what our audience wants and what they need, and moving quickly to provide that. I think those are some of the essential skills.
You listen to your audience. You also listen to ideas that you are generating. Where do you listen to yourself when it comes to the creativity that you have in this space and tapping into that?
I'm a big idea girl. Like I have big ideas, and some of them are crazy stupid. And I take my ideas to the team and I'm like, okay, everybody get ready to get your tomatoes out and throw them at me. I know that this is going to sound crazy. And sometimes they look at me like, yes, you are nuts, which is okay. But sometimes they're like, okay, that maybe is a good idea. And I'm not the only one. I have a phenomenal team of big idea people. And they come up with some phenomenal ideas that have translated into these fantastic products. Our CrowdView Live product is a great example of that. I mean, I went to my team during the pandemic and said, hey, can we take what is currently the live stream, traditional live stream, where you have, let's take a major athlete of any sport, and you put them on this live stream platform, and maybe the audience can chat via chat box or chat stream, and that's about it. I said, how can we create something very different? Can we create a multi-directional broadcast where people are no longer passive viewers and passively participating? Can they be much more active? Can they be interactive and engage with each other around the content that they're seeing? And my team created this amazing platform, and they took it so much farther than I expected, which was really fun to see. And this platform is unique. It's first to market. And I fully believe my team will make this the next big thing. So it's pretty fun.
It is on
quite
its
fun
way.
to see.
Yeah, it's definitely on its way. Kristin Geer is with me, Bleacher and TennisOne, Chief Executive Officer. I'm Bryan Fenley. So you're definitely not passive in your approach to building this product in what you're doing. The grind, the hustle, the grit that you show, how do you pour that in on a daily basis in growing this product and seeing it grow? Yeah.
You just have to have a ton of energy. And then drink a lot of coffee. It's just, I can't help it, but I'm up early. I try to get a lot done in the morning before everybody else gets up so that you can really function as a company. We're still a small company. We haven't, we're a team of about 30 individuals, phenomenal individuals, geniuses. But I'd really like to grow that. I'd like to expand and scale this product. And in order to do that, we're going to have to hire some more people. So really hoping that in the next year, we can do that. Yeah.
A lot of neat things coming in your future. Also looking at not only your contributions in the tennis space, the media space, the app space, but also I find this growing common denominator with you, Kristin, in wanting to give back and help others and starting foundations and working in the nonprofit. And where did this stem from? I have a dog too, by the way, and she's
working
right by
from
me.
home,
So it's totally the life that we live. But why do you find it so imperative from your own experiences to give back outside of the workspace, and why that's important to you?
That's a great question too. I think it's just who we are. I mean, as human beings, it's not just to take. We have to be able to give back. We have to be able to share what we've learned. We have to be able to help others grow. And if you can't do that, I mean, your life is pretty shallow. And so really my goal is to give back in any way, shape, or form I can, whether that be mentoring someone, whether it be my team and helping them grow and learn. Sometimes I'll tell my team, I'll like share something with my team, some wisdom, again, I'm getting old, sharing that wisdom with them. And they may not always appreciate that wisdom, but at the same time, I think they listen at least and maybe glean a little bit from that. But it's giving back around the community. It's giving back as a whole. I think we have to. And in the sports world, especially, like we're in the tennis space. The TennisOne app is one of our premier products. And in the tennis space, sadly, it's a dying sport. We have to be able to give back. We have to help grow the sport. I'm passionate about it. My team is passionate about it. We believe that it's our duty. Like we have to help, we have to help grow the sport. It's sad to see where it's come, and there are too many organizations running in their own little silos, and too many fiefdoms and too many rulers, and it's not building community together. And that's our goal with TennisOne, is to build a community of tennis fans and players, and build this one space for everyone to come into and embrace and be part of. Worldwide, we don't want this to just be a silo in the US. We want this to be worldwide so that we can talk about the sport, and we can be that one source for all things tennis 24/7, 365.
It's definitely there. My final question for you, Kristin Geer, I'm Bryan Fenley, is you build up others by what they see in your perseverance. There have been so many moments in your life where you've been perseverant and you've motivated people, you've inspired people. The need, the desire, the drive to be perseverant, where does that come from for you?
I think that's something that it's just in you. I think you're born with it. I have a family. My parents they persevered through a lot of hardships, and I learned that. I learned that from my grandparents. It's something you learn, but I think it is something that is just inherently in you as well. Like that ability to just see, okay, this isn't working, to admit that something is failing, and to say, okay, now what can I do to fix that? Or how can I transition this to something that will be successful? How can I turn lemons into lemonade? How can I do that? And, it doesn't always work, right? I mean, we're human, but at the same time, it's something that it lives in me. And I think it lives in all of us at some level, right? That ability to push through when things aren't working, and persevere. Absolutely.
Kristin Geer, empowering a visionary, on the pulse as to what is important in the technology, tennis, and sports media space. Check out Bleacher, check out TennisOne, get in the know and see what they're doing. You can find the app wherever you get your apps. And Kristin Geer, this has been so much fun talking a little bit about your story, your background. I'm Bryan Fenley. Really appreciate you so much.
Thanks, Brian. It was nice to see you. Thanks for having me on.